forget how this works. I need to just start talking, and then press the button, and it'll clip afterwards. Okay. Hey everybody, I'm still alive. I've been away because I've had flu. I've been really ill, so all I've been doing is just playing Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, which is amazing. Some Dota 2 because of the new update, and Poker Rogue because Poker Rogue is really fun. I haven't been able to make a demo yet, even though I'd said I'd try and do it by the end of the month. But I've been working on a lot of cool stuff. So I've been having trouble with my Battle A.I recently. But before we get into that, I need to kind of give a brief overview of how battling works. So each technique a monster can use uses up energy. You start with 100 energy. If the energy gets depleted to 0, well, if you use more than what you have, then the extra gets taken off your health. At the end of each turn, each monster regains 20 energy if they've got enough stamina, which is kind of related to how much hunger they have. So ideally, I'd need a system where the enemies would be able to determine what would be the best move, since their energy levels would be like fluctuating throughout the match. They'd need to know when they need to use the rest move to recover their energy and stuff like that. But initially, I just set it up so that the enemy would just look at all the possible moves it could do and would just pick a random one. I had some slight control over this, as I could manipulate what moves they had, so I could basically give them the same kind of move in like 2 different slots to make it more likely that they'd do that. That was great as a basic system, but I needed something a bit more complex. So what I then decided on was a system whereby the chance to select a move would increase based firstly on how much damage it would do. So if it was a particularly strong move against the opponent, it would have like a high chance of being picked. But also if a move didn't have enough energy to be used, it would get reduced, so it would have a lower chance. So it'd go through each move like this, start every turn, and stack all its moves together kind of like this, and then it'd do the same thing where it would pick a random move, pick a random number, and this would pick a move based on that number. So it would be like most likely to pick in the bigger area. So this mostly worked out alright. Over a large number of matches, it was picking the right option most of the time, but because it was due to random chance, there would be times where it'd have multiple good options but still pick the worst possible option, and that was very confusing to play against. So I did some research, looked at other systems, and came up with a new one. So I came across the system used in one of the hardest fan-made Pokemon games ever known, called Pokemon Run and Bun. So what this does is the AI calculates a score for each move and then chooses the highest scoring move. So therefore, it decides the score basically determines what move is the best option. And if it's got multiple best options, it will randomly select between them. To do this in Run and Bun, the AI knows your full team's stats, moves, and abilities at the start of battle, and all the information of its own team as well. Which honestly is a bit unfair, which makes it a really tough game to try and beat. So I was going to have a similar system, but not quite. So as a visualization, I'm going to color these in just because it's quicker than writing numbers. So it'll look at move 1 and decide, yeah, that one's going to kill, so that one's a red move. This one's going to do medium damage, that one's orange, and let's say these aren't going to do much, so these are yellow. So then it's going to go for the hottest move, as it were, which would be the red one, and it would pick that move. And that's basically how it works. So after looking at this system, I created my own kind of like tier list of best moves in any given situation, and organize them out like this. It's a bit different because it also considers the energy levels of the user and its opponent, which would be the player. So, for example, it's more likely to block or dodge a move when its opponent's energy is above 50%, because that's more likely when they're going to have enough energy to use a move. But when the enemy energy is below 50%, then the likelihood that they're going to block or dodge is much lower. And other attacks, moves are going to take priority over that. So feel free to pause the video now and have a look at my move technique tier list and see if you can spot where I would have a problem with this. Leave a comment down below if you find it, or if you find other problems. I'd love to know about them before I start playtesting the game. Okay, another thing I've been working on is the Battle AI. So to show you this, I'm going to go to the Fighting Pits, which is a monster arena within the desert town. Here people can watch fights, including yourself, if you've got the money, and you can't participate yourself. This is the best way currently to make money in the game. So if you click the arena button, it'll show you the opponents that you can face. The revealed ones are ones that I fought before, and there's some which I haven't fought, so they're blank. You can also look up the information about each fighter, so you know roughly what their stats are, what their moves are, what you're going to be up against if you fought them before, obviously. So the thing I was working on was the Battle AI. So the problem I was having was that the Battle AI would decide that blocking is the most optimal path all the time. It was only really in cases where the enemy would not 2-hit or 1-hit KO you. So it just decided that, yeah, the best thing to do every single time is to block. How I fixed this is I've created a variable now which stores the last move that it picked. So if the last move was a block or a dodge, and it's trying to possibly think about blocking and dodging again, it won't do that anymore, because it will realize that it did it last turn, so it won't do it again to mix it up a bit. So it'll still do it the first time, like you've seen here. It's used block. I've skillfully avoided it, but it won't do it the next time, because this time it's gone for an attacking move. The Alpactus doesn't have enough stamina now to use an attacking move, so it's going to rest to recover stamina. If I use an attacking move whilst it's resting, that move will become a critical hit and deal 1.5 times more damage, and depending on the move, proc additional effects. I'm not going to do that, so you see a bit more of its Battle AI. So I'm going to rest this turn instead. Okay, so we both rested up. The enemy now has enough stamina to use another move, but its attacking moves still aren't doing more than 50% of my HP. So it's going to favour using a blocking move instead. Unfortunately, it doesn't have enough HP. Its standard block only blocks about 50% of the damage, and it's still going to get knocked out. And there we go. By the little spinning animation, Terry here has evolved into a Lavalotl. The requirement for this was down here that Terry learned the new move Flamethrower. And we'll go into its moves to have a look at that. So Flamethrower here has been unlocked. It's at the bottom. There is a blue bar underneath it, rather than these gold bars up the top. So the gold bars are fairly straightforward. They relate to your current level, and as the monster gets stronger, new moves are unlocked. Fairly straightforward. The blue bars represent what I call move experience. Now, the monster gains move experience by using similar kinds of moves. So in that last fight, we used Ember quite a bit, which is a fire move. So that generates Move Exp for other fire type moves or similar moves to that. So like a fire attacking move. And as you can see, flamethrowers gone all the way up. There's another fire attacking move here, which has also risen. So it depends on what kinds of moves that you learn, which will upgrade and unlock new, more powerful moves. So I'm going to leave it there for now, because I've probably been talking for way too long and made the video way longer than it was supposed to. But yeah, I'm going to keep on working on the game. I still really want to push out a demo soon, so everyone who's watching can get their hands on it too and give me some more feedback on it. But I just need to figure out, add in a few small story bits so players can get a general feel of how the story is going to go. Currently, I have it where you're just given 4 monster tokens at the start, instead of getting a monster, but it's kind of the same thing because you just go to the shop and then you just buy one. So I'm going to change it a bit, so you're going to have to find different ways to get those monster tokens. But yeah, so a demo is coming soon. Thanks again for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and thanks for watching. See you later.